What's up guys, Earl here for Tech, and as most of you already know, Xiaomi recently released 3 new smartphones under their popular Redmi Note family. One of which, of course, is the Redmi Note 11S, which knowingly sits between the standard and Pro models. With its 6.43 inches 90Hz AMOLED screen, Helio G96 chipset, and a 108 megapixel main camera, is it still worth getting than its siblings? Find out in this review. So let's get it straight. The Redmi Note 11S looks like its siblings. They even have the same dimensions. You got a large 6.43 inches display with a punch hole notch for the 16 megapixel camera, and above it is the earpiece. For buttons and ports, on the right there are the volume buttons and the flat power/lock button that also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Then on the left, we have the card tray for 2 nano size SIM cards and a micro SD card. Placed at the top is the 3.5mm audio jack, the loudspeaker, IR blaster, and a microphone. While down at the bottom, we have the USB-C port, microphone, and loudspeakers. At the back, there's a quad camera module with the protruding camera lens. As expected, it won't lay even on the surface when put it down. As for its build, the Redmi Note 11S is a relatively tall device with a narrow frame. The sides of the frame are also flat to make it easier to grip even with its 8.09mm thick body. The frame is metallic while the back panel has a frosted finish which repels smudges and fingerprints as well. Although I'd still recommend putting on the clear case to protect its body, especially the protruding camera. In addition, it can withstand dust and splashes of water with its IP53 rating. Now for its display, it has the same screen as the Redmi Note 11 at 6.43 inch with Full HD Plus resolution and a pixel density of 409 ppi. Nicely, it also uses an AMOLED screen with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. Generally, it's a vibrant screen with up to 1000 nits peak brightness, which makes it easily viewable under direct sunlight. It's got punchy colors with deep blacks, which is also great for dark mode. Those looking for smooth animations and transitions, we like the 90Hz refresh rate with an option to bring it down to 60Hz to save battery. If you like playing games, the Redmi Note 11S also boasts a 180Hz touch sampling rate for a better touch response than your conventional smartphone. Now when it comes to audio, we're glad to see dual speakers in smartphones in this price range. It's crisp and loud, doesn't have much bass, but it's still immersive and good enough for watching videos or playing games. You can either use your favorite wired headphones or go wireless and hook it up to a TWS or external Bluetooth speaker. Running on the software side is the MIUI 13 that is based on Android 11. It's a visually pleasing interface with apps directly on the home screen and loaded with features like Cleaner, Security Scan, Game Turbo, App Lock, Dual Apps, Second Space, Hidden Apps, Privacy Protection, and Share Me Wireless Transfer. Apps are arranged on the home screen, but there's also an option for an app drawer if that's what you prefer. Thankfully, there are now lesser ads across the system, and the promoted ads toggle are now turned off by default. As expected, we still get a number of Xiaomi proprietary apps, Google apps, and third-party apps like Twitter, Lazada, Netflix, TikTok, Facebook, and Spotify. I like that the majority of these apps are used by most users, so they are more of a convenience than a bother. Storage-wise, we have a 128GB storage on board, which is a decent storage space for a device of this caliber. If that is not enough for storing your files, you can have it expanded with a micro SD card. There's also a 64GB option if you think that's enough for you. Now powering this device is a 12nm MediaTek Helio G96 with a Mali G57 MC2 GPU. The RAM is at 8GB with the capability to extend an extra 3GB using the phone's storage. It's a very capable configuration and was able to keep things running smoothly. Apps launch fast and multitasking is a breeze. We didn't encounter any hiccups while using any of the phone's built-in apps or features. Now when it comes to gaming, we run Genshin Impact and its default graphics setting is lowest. But we placed it to the highest and bumped the frame rates to 60, and it was a very much playable experience. It's not the smoothest though, as we encounter freezing frames from time to time, but not that bad to ruin the experience. Warming can be felt at the back beside the cameras, but it's not uncomfortable. For those of you who are interested in benchmark scores, having them flash on screen now. Connectivity-wise, the Redmi Note 11 got the basic connectivity features and then some. There's a dual SIM 4G LTE Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, NFC, IR Blaster, GPS, USB-C, and the 3.5mm audio jack. There's no 5G, which is reserved for the Pro variant. It's not a big deal unless you really need that 5G. For the battery, we have the same from the Redmi Note 11, which is a 5000 mAh capacity. PCMark's battery test rated the battery life at 15 hours and 21 minutes, while our standard video loop test, which involves playing 1080p video on loop at 50% brightness in airplane mode, and we got 21 hours and 15 minutes of playback, which is good. The 33 Wh fast charging, on the other hand, can replenish it in a little over an hour. Okay, now for the cameras. Like the Redmi Note 11, the Redmi Note 11S has 4 cameras, but Xiaomi gave this model an upgrade with the main camera and packs a 108-megapixel sensor like the Note 11 Pro 5G. The rest is the same. There are the 8-megapixel ultra-wide, 2-megapixel macro, and the 2-megapixel depth sensors. For selfies, it also follows its Pro sibling with a 16-megapixel shooter. Quality is good for its class. The main camera can capture images with plenty of details, accurate colors, and a good dynamic range. The main sensor takes 12-megapixel images by default, which is more than enough for uploading on social media. But if you want that 108-megapixel resolution, you'll have to go to the shooting options and choose that mode. For the ultra-wide camera, it has a decent resolution, but the images produced seems to be on the cooler side and could use a bit of boost in contrast. When it comes to night mode, it's not effective in pitch black environments. There should be at least some ambient or indirect light source available for it to capture any detail. Otherwise, you'll end up with a photo with muddy details or, in worst case scenarios, pitch black. Selfies, on the other hand, are good and have the wide angle feature for easy group selfies. It's sharp, has nice colors, but it is prone to noise. For better results, make sure to shoot in bright locations. For videos, unfortunately, just like its brothers, the Redmi Note 11 can record at a maximum of 1080p at 30 frames per second only. It cannot transition though between the main camera and the ultra-wide lens, so you'll need to stop recording and change the cameras, which is cumbersome. Videos taken using the main camera are sharp with good dynamic range. It also has stabilization, which minimizes the shakes when we walk. For the price, Xiaomi is yet to reveal the SRP of the Redmi Note 11S. Considering that the Redmi Note 11 with 6GB plus 128GB configuration is already at 9,999 pesos, we can expect that the 11S to be more expensive than that, yet more affordable than the Pro model. We'll update you guys in the description box once it's finally available. So is it worth getting more than its siblings? Well, it's much better than the Redmi Note 11. Of course, as it sports a powerful chipset, a higher camera resolution, and bigger RAM. And if you don't mind the lack of 5G support and not having 120Hz refresh rate like the 11 Pro variant, the Redmi 11S is not bad at all. Other phones sporting the same chipset already cost around 11,990 pesos, but if Xiaomi manages to get to the same price point or a bit cheaper, then it might be a good sell for those looking at the particular features this phone has. And yeah, that wraps it up this video. So what do you guys think about the Redmi Note 11S? Let us know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to our channel for more content, hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and be sure to visit yugatech.com for the latest tech news and reviews. This has been Rel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.